Welcome again to Spotlight. It's Pastor Dan. We're talking about missions, and I want to talk about the sheer power of economic, exponential multiplication. I probably began to think the most about this when we were in Jamaica. We were working on a summer camp. People told me we were going to be cooled off by the ocean breezes. It was so hot. Ground was difficult like cement. You would blast with a sledgehammer and everything, just get a little bit of dirt off. We tried every trick we could think of to try to soften up this ground. It's hard work for a summer camp. So I had to raise 30 or 40,000. There's one spot where my cell phone would work, and I began to call people trying to raise money for that summer camp. I think I had to raise 30 or 40,000. And I began to explain to people. I said, kids are going to come onto this campus in a few weeks. And those kids are going to learn electronics, and they're going to learn various skills, some type of Bible workers and so on. And then those kids are going to leave, and they're going to go out into the community, and then they will be multiplied. Those 500 kids will become Bible workers and plumbers and computer technicians and electronics because of these special skills that they were learning at this particular camp. And I said, all that comes credit to the people who make it happen and give the money. So we build a school classroom for $20,000. And we put teachers and a computer and chairs in there. And then 25 kids are in there every day. And then they multiply themselves out. And some of those kids become a pastor. Now you have a whole lifetime of that pastor making a difference. Someone becomes a doctor, and all the lifetime of the patients that they have, a teacher and all that they deal with. You get all of that because you added one classroom. It's not just this little bit. It's exponential, down years of time. And you have to make these choices. I call it economic triage, like they do in the hospital or after a train wreck. Who is the worst sick and has to have the greatest care right now? Who could maybe wait a little and it won't be life-threatening? You make triage decisions. We were in India the first time, and they came to me and said, Pastor Dan, we'd like to have some money to help a young person who finished number 1 in the Bible quiz and send him to Toronto for general conference. I said, how much? $1,000. Yeah, okay, let's see. Half an hour later, the girls' dean came over to me and said, Pastor Dan, they built this girls' dorm. That's lovely, but we can't finish it. I said, what do you need? Oh, we got mirrors we need waste paper baskets. There's many things we need that 50 girls are going to come in. So I went to my group. I said, we could give $1,000 from all of us for one kid to go to Toronto for general conference, 2,000. Or we could give $2,000, and we will help 50 girls go into a new dorm, and 50 girls this year, and 50 girls next year, and 50 girls for the next 50, 60 years. And those girls will go out from this school and become pastors and teachers and mothers and nurses and all kinds of things in our church. Which would you rather do? 2,000. I was sorry for the kid with 1,000, but anyway, that's what we did. You only have one life to live. You want to make your life count as much as we can. They came to me and said, could you give us $5,000 for a banquet we want to have at the end of the school year? Or we could take the $5,000 and buy a copier. The $5,000 for the meal, 5 hours later, they're all hungry again. The $5,000 for the copier prints and prints and prints and prints all day, every day for a few years if you keep it going. Choose your life where you want to make the most difference with your life. And I have chosen to help support building churches, support building schools. And you have these moments when those things are done. And you get this little jolt of joy and accomplishment. Not that you've added to your salvation. It doesn't add to your merit for heaven. But because God is a God of serving and sent Jesus down, God's heart is for service. When you are having an acts of service, you are the closest to the heart of God. Which is why when you're involved in mission or caring or giving and whatever you're doing, you feel this goodness because you're with God. And you baptize people in a pool. That was a good afternoon. And you dedicate a church or you build a house in Mexico and give it over to them. 150 cars in our church at Hinsdale lined up every other Thursday afternoon. And there's people out there running to bring boxes of food into the trunks. It just feels good. They're smiling. They're happy. They love doing this. Matters to God. So I just encourage you to find your place. If it's overseas or local or a soup kitchen or tutoring kids or helping kids in Pathfinders. To make a difference and multiply yourself as much as you can. And look at the exponential multiplication. Where can you make the most difference? Someday we're going to be in heaven. And God's going to have these massive computer maps of how all these relationships wove together down timelines and see how something you did multiplied. Someone sold my great-grandfather a book, and now this is our family around the world, and whoever we've been able to help win. One book. That's how it works. This is Spotlight. Be with us next week. God bless you. Thank you for watching Spotlight. We're so excited about this. We hope that you'll subscribe and so you'll get all of them. And please just forward it on to others and tell other people about it. And let's just see what kind of an audience we can get for these messages of Spotlight. God bless you.